Okay, is it going? Okay. Sit in, baby. Maya, sit. Stay. Hey, my name is Steve Poole. You might know me better as Soda Steve from Soda Steve's restaurant up in Gore, Oklahoma, next to Fin and Feather. Not only do I do restaurants, but one of my hobbies is I'm an amateur dog trainer, and really the reason I got into this is because we got a lab about 3 years ago. This is Maya. We call her Maya the black dog. She's a fully registered AKC lab, which makes no difference whatsoever. What I'm going to explain in this video right here, this little tape, is there's a guy named Stephen Covey, Dr. Stephen Covey, that wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the things he said in there, which is what I'm going to demonstrate today, is he said, begin with the end in mind. If you're like me, you need to see what you're working for. You need to see a goal. So Maya is 3 years old. What you're going to see here is 3 years worth of work, but it's not all. I had a great time doing it. It's just daily reinforcement of the obedience command. In order for you to have a dog that you can integrate into your life and love that dog like a part of the family, it needs to have some boundaries, and it needs to have some rules. And the more that you enforce those rules and integrate that dog in their living conditions into your life, instead of you having to change your life to the way they do things, the more fun you'll have with your dog. So we got her when she was 3. Lab's lifespan is usually 11 to 13 years, and so we are looking forward to the next 10 years of having a blast with this dog, because she does almost everything with us. I will say at the beginning, it wasn't like that. Puppies are not like that. They have to be taught. And what we're going to talk about today is we're going to see the end product. Now, we're not going to get into retrieving. This applies to every breed that there is out there. This is every dog. Now, you'll notice maybe in this thing, you'll see Maya's tail wagging. She's a happy dog. She has kind of led the life of Riley, because that's we got her from a highly reputable, small, caring breeder. We take care of her, we feed her the right food, we take her to the vet. But you may have a rescue dog, which is great, but they may have some issues that they have before you got to them, that they may not act exactly like Maya. They're just like people. They'll have different issues and different ways to train. There's a million ways to train a dog. This is what I want you to see today, is when you get done with the obedience part of your training, these little commands are what you'll have in your pocket, and you'll use them on a daily basis. And that way, when you have family over, you have friends over, you won't be yelling at your dog to get off of them. You won't be yelling them to get down, to stay outside, to be quiet. They'll just be a part of their household, and they'll know the rules. Now, like I said, Maya was not always like this. She was a wild, crazy maniac when we first started, as all dogs are. But what I want you to do is to watch what we have got her to do now, and we do this every day for at least 5 minutes a day. When you got to take him to the bathroom, so you may as well do this while you're outside, or you can do it inside. You can do all this stuff wherever. Very simple. Takes nothing more than a leash, some patience. That's all we're looking for here. And then the rest of the book or presentation video program is going to be about the things that you can do with your pup between 7 weeks when you pick them up and the time that you start really working on these things. This is going to be, after you see this part, this is what you're going to end up with. What we're going to work on is basically, I don't know, for lack of a better term, puppy pre-K. So this is what you'll do before you even start training them. However, I will tell you this, the reason I'm so interested to get this out to people is they ask me a lot, number one, and number two, I really wish that I had known these things before we got her, because it would have made our life and hers a lot easier. So just watch me do these commands, and this is what you're going to end up with after obedience. And then after we do this part, we'll go into the program as far as what we can do. She's pregnant right now, so she's going to have some puppies in about, I don't know, 6 weeks or so, and then we'll start going through the basics of how we deal with those puppies from 7 weeks up to about 5 or 6 months, when we really start to work on the obedience training. That little puppy pre-K part is what we're going to work on after you see the end product. So here we go. My heel. First thing we're going to do, I'll start from this side so you can see a little bit better. Heel. Heel, heel, heel. Now what I'm working here, sit down, sit, Maya sit. What I'm working with right here, this is a training leash, but you can, if you want to, just flip this onto your flat collar, which is just a regular collar. The commands we're going to be working on are heel, which is walking on a loose leash, basically, right next to me. Sit, stay, come, or here, which means go to some place and stay there until I let you get off. And kennel, which means to go into your kennel. Place is get up on something. Kennel is go into something. All right. We can do this off leash and on leash. We'll start with on leash. That's what you'll do when you're first starting to train them. But I just want to see where we're going after we talk about all the puppy pre-K stuff. All right. Here we go. You ready? You ready, little girl? All right. Here we go. Sit. Heel. Good. Heel. Heel. Atta girl. Heel. Sit. Stay. Good girl. My here. Good girl. Sit down. Sit. Good girl. My down. Atta girl. Good girl. Sit. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Maya. Place. Sit. Here. Here. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Sit. Kennel. Atta girl. Thank you. Good deal. Okay. Heel. Heel. Whoa. Sit. Great. Stay. Sit. Now we're going to work on off leash. This is where you're going to get to basically the obedience holy grail, basically, is when you have your dog control off leash, meaning you don't have a leash on her. Now, you'll learn later that you can and can't do that, and in situations that you wouldn't want to do that, because we're always concerned about the safety of the dog and others. Every dog's different. But we'll work these same commands off leash, and then you'll have basically seen what there is to see concerning obedience. Sit. Heel. 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 Sit. Stay. Here. Heel. Good girl. Here. Sit. Place. Maya. Place. Good girl. Good girl. Here. Sit. Stay. Kennel. Kennel. My kennel. Good girl. Atta girl. All right. There you go. Now, come on out, baby. There you go. So we're going to play a little bit. Just let her play. My here. Okay. Take a break. So, now you've seen what we talk about, the holy grail of obedience. And when I say holy grail, she's a 3-year-old dog. As you can see, she's got lots of energy, but this can be done. And a lot of it has to do with the things that you're going to do between 7 weeks when you pick your puppy up and 5.5 or 6 months when you start really working obedience. Everything you do from the very first time that you actually pick your dog up as a puppy, we're going to start transmitting signals to them about who's in charge and how we want them to act. And everything that we do is going to be fun and a game, and they're going to love spending time with us. And as you can see, she loves to be out here with me and having a good time. So watch this. I just wanted you to see what this is going to look like when you finish everything else. And I can tell you right now that when I went to a trainer and took her for obedience, I didn't ever think this would happen. And now here I am, and she's a fantastic dog just because it's daily reinforcement. So that's the end product. We're looking forward to puppy pre-K, and I'll let you know some more stuff about that later. Thanks.